Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking your time to be part of our viewers and listeners. Ladies and gentlemen, for a period of time, the country has been plunged into a crisis. Doctors have been on strike for weeks now, and patients have been dying. People cannot afford medication in private hospitals, especially the hustlers that voted for William Ruto. And we've had fake fertilizer that got into the supply chain. And then we've talked about the capitation fee now for as long as it takes. One person who has been very quiet is the chief executive officer of the country, William Ruto himself, the man we maintain his office with huge taxpayers' money. And people have been asking, where is he? Is he alive to the fact that things are haywire? And recently, doctors called upon the president to speak and give the way forward. Because Susan Nakhumicha, who has been at the center of all this controversy, has been speaking with a lot of pride. Instead of taking the bull by its horns, what she's telling us is that this is sabotage from some people who had tried earlier to sabotage the social healthcare, the one that they have made from the paradigm shift from the older NHIF. And she says that people are jealous of her. Babu Owino took a motion to impeach Nakhumicha. Some MPs have called upon Nakhumicha to resign or to be relocated to another office because they feel Nakhumicha cannot handle this office. Of course, you know that there have been questions about her certificates. William Ruto jetted out of the country to receive awards. In Ghana, he received the highest award. In Guinea, he was given another award. Musalia Mudavadi was not in the country, and yesterday we were shocked that even Gachagua himself was outside the country when they leave behind a crisis. So today, William Ruto came back to the country and straight to the church in Eldoret, African Inland Church. William Ruto gave a verdict and he told off doctors and the KMPDU to go back to work because there is no money. All they have is insufficient to meet the doctors' demands. And he told them we must live within our means. And I want you to listen to Ruto so that we come back.
I know we have a situation in Kenya with our doctors and interns. I want to implore on them that it is important for us as a nation to agree that we must live within our means. We must live within our means, fellow countrymen and women. We cannot continue to spend the money we don't have. And I am telling our friends, the doctors, that we mind about them, we value the service they give to our nation, but we must live within our means. The resources we have are only sufficient to pay 70,000 shillings for intern doctors. It is not a salary, it is a stipend for only 1 year, and then they will be employed. And we want all our doctors, all our doctor interns as Kenyans, so that when the Bible says that a responsible father leaves an inheritance for their children, we as Kenyans, we should not leave debt to our children. We should leave an inheritance to our children. And so I am very confident that as a country, we are going to make the right decisions. And I promise you that I will always speak the truth to our nation. Because
so that was William Samoei Ruto, the president of the country. I want us to delve into the discussion about how he's handling the doctor strike. But even as we do this, allow me to request you in a very humble way to subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time. Click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video. You can also render much service to this channel by giving this particular video thumbs up and sharing our videos. To all our subscribers and our supporters, thank you very much. So you listened to the president, and you know what baffled me is that he's telling us that he wants to leave a legacy, that the legacy he wants to leave is not to leave debts. Like a father, he does not want to leave debts to the children. But when you look at how William Ruto has borrowed, recently we were given a report that he has borrowed more than Mwai Kibaki, more than Uhuru Kenyatta in the period within which he's been in office. And then there is nothing to show for it. He tells us at one point that we can no longer afford to take more debts, that we now have to live within our means. Then the next minute, he's taking more loans. The other day, we were told that IMF added more loans to Kenya. There are no development structures. They keep on crying, we inherited empty coffers. They get more loans. We don't get any development projects for it. So when he tells us that he wants to give his children an inheritance that is not debt, I wonder what kind of language he wants us to understand, because this is now mere fallacy. Now, it also tells me that when we were crucifying Nakhumicha, it was not Nakhumicha, because Nakhumicha can only negotiate that which William Ruto and KRA have offered. She knows very well that they are not willing to give more than that. And let me ask you, even if you are in her shoes, maybe William Ruto has told you as you go for negotiations, you cannot go beyond this. We can only pay 70,000 Kenya shillings as stipend. But the union wants more than that. So what do? You have to obey what your master has given you. So all along it has been President William Ruto and not Nakhumicha. So sometimes I know we are doubting her credentials, the certificates, and the manner in which she's handling doctor strike. But I know the only problem is that she goes to funerals and she speaks there. That is not good. But on the standoff, this is William Ruto's position, and he has made it very clear. Number two, you know, the doctors read papers every day, and they know very well that there's been a lot of wastage in government, in Statehouse. You cannot tell doctors that there is no money when Statehouse spends so much, an umbrella for 3 million, a watch at more than 700,000, and you tell them there is no money. That can never be. Even the office of the first lady and the second lady spend so much, and you want to tell doctors that you want to live within your means, the wage bill is huge. You know, they cannot accept. Number two, ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto knows very well that we have to live within our means. But he still goes to parliament, instructs the UDA or the Kenya Kwanza parliamentarians, they give him the green light to add chief administrative secretaries, the CSS that had been rejected by the court. And this time round, there's no even, the number has not been capped at 22. They have removed that clause so William Ruto can appoint as many as he can. So with all this, you want to tell doctors that there's no money. If there was no money, you would have told Kenyans that in view of the fact that there is no money, I really wanted to add more CSS, but now I will not because there is no money. And I urge the cabinet secretaries and the permanent secretaries to do their work diligently. But this is fallacy. Corruption in the government, wastage in the government, and you want doctors to listen to you. I mean, they cannot listen. This is what Devji, who is the KMPDU Secretary General, said, that as doctors, we refuse to be scapegoats for wage bill reduction. Our salaries, vital like any Kenyans, are based on fair agreements. Despite government pressure, doctors' salaries anchored on CBA are non-negotiable. We won't compromise on fair compensation for our hard work. It's unjust to target us for wage bill control while state officers enjoy hefty paychecks. We stand united against exploitation. And he says, hashtag doctor strike, hashtag doctor strike, hashtag implement CBA 2017. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When there is an agreement, that must be respected, because there was a CBA, collective bargaining agreement. The government side had their people, doctors' side had their union, the MPDU, and they sat down after a number of sittings and deliberations. They agreed upon something. William Ruto comes in, and I've even heard the governor saying that we need to review. There's a dog there making noise. That we need to review the CBA negotiations. Even if we would want to review, how will you trust them? Because William Ruto have said many things. He has promised many things. In fact, I was looking at some review where William Ruto said that by April, he would be providing free medical care. Now, April, we get to April, and what do we meet? Government does not want to give money to doctors. So doctors cannot, because if there is something that William Ruto will have to work hard to shelve, is the scale covering him, the scale of lies. Ask anyone and they will tell you they don't trust William Ruto, because William Ruto will look direct into your face and will tell you what you want to hear at that particular moment. Doctors understand very well that if we go back to work based on William Ruto's promise, there is no trust. That will be the end of it, because he has proved that he is not trustworthy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the order to go to work is something that I don't think is correct. Doctors must be paid because there is money. Take even the money that you want to pay to the CSS. One CS will take home about 700,000 Kenya shillings. But this is duplication of work. The PSS and the cabinet secretaries can do that work. He wants to reward the people who helped him during the campaigns, but he does not want to pay doctors. So on this, we stand with the doctors, and I know people are dying. We cannot blame doctors on this. We must blame the government. You see, there is every indication that there is money. And this order is erroneous. I don't think the doctors should obey. And I know it's painful. People are dying. But William Ruto must give doctors what they want. I know there must be a compromise, but let them handle this. And that is my take.